Alright, what's up everyone? Welcome to the stream. I'm starting in 2 minutes. I'm just gonna wait till the timer has actually gone to 0. What's up Tom? What's up Sebastian? So today we are going to take a look at we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin obviously, and we're gonna take a look at a couple of altcoins, and at the end of the stream we're going to take a look at we're going to do a Forex Market scan. So I'm going to take a look at the Forex markets. I'm going to take a look at the positions that I'm in over the weekend. The biggest one is USD CAD, which I really like, so I'm going to show you why I entered that one. I'm going to show you guys the exact analysis, how I found the setup, how to find the entries and exit and everything, so you can learn learn from just watching me do my analysis. So I'm thinking we're gonna do like an hour today. Could be maybe more, maybe less, I don't know. We're done when we're done, right? So if you have any short requests or any questions or anything like that, just feel free to ask me in the chat or tag me in the Nest Club or whatever. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so here's what do we have here? We have BTC USDT on Binance. So this is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to so first of all, I'm just going to remove these fib levels from the range bars. Well, I'm not really sure what you mean by range bars. I don't think I've ever done analysis on range bars, so I can't really comment on that, honestly. But so let's see, where do we have that one? Right here. So let's remove the fib levels here. We're gonna remove it from the daily chart because I want my daily chart to be clean. Let's see, visibility, daily, weekly. Right here, weekly too. What's up? Is it Bart or Bert? Bert. BRT. I like BRT though. BRT crypto. What? So here's the daily. What? You know what? Let's just take it all the way from the top. Let's just do a top-down analysis on this setup. So we're gonna start off by taking a look at Bert. What's up, Bert? So we're gonna take a look at the weekly chart for Bitcoin, and we're gonna do what I like to call, well, basically what everybody calls, it's a top-down analysis. And basically what that means is you start from the top and you go down and you kind of drill down into the lower time frames. That's how you should do your analysis, right? Unless, I mean, even if you're a scalper on the 1 minute to 5 minute, you always have to check the high time frames. The higher time frames are way more important than the lower time frames. The higher time frames dictate the trend. The lower time frames will give you hints on what the higher time frames might do. As a swing trader, it's extremely important to keep your eyes on the higher time frame trade. If you're a scalper, if you're a scalper on the 1 minute or 5 minute, you might find a lot of trades between important levels where you shouldn't or wouldn't trade as a swing trader. but it's very important to do your top-down analysis. Never forget the higher time frames. They are the most important ones. All right, so let's remove that from the weekly and the daily. All right. SIL. All right, so let's see, what do we have here? What do we have here? Right, so let's start off by doing our so-called top-down analysis on BTC USDT. So we're gonna just look at the clean shot here, clean price action. What does this tell us? Well, what we're looking for here is to get a sense of direction, right? And I've been bearish on Bitcoin and I'm not macro bearish, right? I'm super macro bullish actually. I think Bitcoin is going much higher, but that's more like a feeling, and I do not trade my feelings. I trade technical. I trade TA, right? And what TA tells me right now is we're going down, right? How far, I do not know. We're going to the next level below, and if we fail to hold that, we're going to the next level below that one. It's quite simple, right? So we have this trend line here that I got from using the high of the bull run in 2017 to the high of this bull run right here, and this is a confirmed trend line. I very rarely use trend lines in my analysis. I only use trend lines basically on the weekly and the daily to get a sense of the higher time frame trade. Remember, the higher time frame trade is the important one, right? All right, so we got this trend line. We're hitting this trend line for the third time, and like when you test a trend line 2 times, it's not really confirmed, but the third test will confirm the trend line. So this is now a confirmed trend line in my view, and that's going to add confidence. Another thing that's going to add confidence to this trend line is this red box resistance, which is high time frame resistance, right? Another thing that's going to add confidence to that area is the RLC. RLC is short for reload zone, and if you want to learn more about the reload zone, I've got a new technical analysis educational playlist that you can check out by going to, I guess, my channel and check playlist. I should probably figure out a better way to sell that idea. So another thing that's going to add confidence to this level is the 618 Fibonacci retracement level, and the 618 is a very special number. It's the golden ratio, the golden zone, right? It's a very strong, probably the most used Fibonacci level, and you can see price really respecting that level. And so this is high time frame resistance until proven otherwise, and with until proven otherwise, I mean a break above. And to really break this downtrend on a weekly, we need to see, in my opinion, a weekly open and close above the 618 or even above 10.5k. And you know, that's gonna take a while, right? You might have multiple fake outs on the weekly before that actually happens, but when that happens, we have a possible bullish break in market structure. And what do I mean by a bullish break in market structure? Let me show you quickly what a downtrend is and what an uptrend is. A downtrend is when you have a low, a high, a lower low, a high, lower high, lower low, lower high. A break in market structure is when you go from lower highs and lower lows and you create a higher low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, right? So this is your first hint of a break in market structure. This is a double bottom. This is also a W formation, right? When you break above the neckline of the W, you come down and retest the breakout level. That's your confirmed break in market structure. That's what I'm looking for on this one. If you see here, you have a pretty clear, well, not clear, it's not a clear double bottom, but you have, you have this, right? You're going to break above the neckline of this W. You're gonna move up. You're gonna come down and retest the neckline, confluent with the 618, confluent with this high time frame resistance, confluent with this trend line. That's your confirmed break in market structure, and that's when you create a new uptrend for Bitcoin, a new weekly uptrend for Bitcoin. Looking at the looking at the high time frame view for Bitcoin on Bitstamp, because Bitstamp has the most price action. it should be pretty clear why it's very interesting to create a new weekly trend, because when Bitcoin creates a new weekly trend, it usually means that you're trading pretty hard for quite some time. So I do think that when we create the next weekly trend, if that's going to happen with this break, we are most likely going to test at least 14k and reclaim 14k, and we're going to see 20k. I do think that the next weekly trend, if it's this level that's going to break the weekly downtrend, I do think that's the move that's going to take us to the all-time highs. Right, so that's the weekly analysis. Now let's go down into the daily time frame, and I'm going to show you this daily range that I got drawn. So I've used the high of this range right here, the reaction of the 618 Fibonacci level, and I used the range low down here because this was the high of the impulsive move, and this was the low after that reaction. So that creates a range, and we now see that we have lost range EQ. EQ stands for equilibrium, and it's basically the middle. It's the middle of the range. I'm drawing my ranges by using the fib tool. Got the 0, the 1, and the 0.5%. So the range EQ is just basically the 50% level, the middle of this range. So we lost range EQ, and when we lose range EQ, it's quite high probability that we will see a move down to range low. If we reclaim range EQ, there's a pretty high probability that we will see a move up to range high. That's how I like to trade ranges. I like to trade my ranges based on the range EQ, and I like to play them. I very rarely buy range low or sell range high. I wait for a breakdown or a breakout, but I do like to play with the range EQ. So that's the daily range I'm looking at. So the fact that we lost range EQ makes me biased to the bears, right? If that's even correct. But the uptrend on the daily is quite obvious, but we're starting to see lower highs right here. We have higher highs, right? I mean, higher highs, higher lows, I mean. But we're starting to create lower highs, and that's our first hint of a possible break in market structure. So the weekly is down, the daily is about to probably break down if we break range low to the downside. I do think that's going to happen because the higher time frames are bearish, right? But just because I think that's going to happen does not mean it's going to happen. That's just something I'm looking for. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to trade it, take one level at a time, right? Now down to the 4 hour. So with that in mind, the weekly trend is down, the daily trend is starting to shift down. With that in mind, I'm looking for shorts, right? But because of the fact that we have a very nice up move on the daily, I'm not going to short blindly. I'm going to wait for clear. I'm going to wait till the chart tells me that, all right, so this is your time to short, right? I'm not going to look at a level and like, oh, all right, so if price hits this level, I'm going to short. I'm going to wait for price to actually hit that level and tell me on the lower time frame that it's time to short. And what I mean by that, I'm going to show you in detail what I mean by that. Basically, what I mean by that is, I talked about this in the beginning. Higher time frames are the most important ones, and you look at the lower time frames to get a hint of what the higher time frames are going to do, right? So if you see a bullish break in market structure on the 5 minute, that might translate over to a bullish break in market structure on the 15 minute. That might translate over to a bullish break in market structure on the 1 hour. But if you fail to gain a bullish break in market structure on the 4 hour, well, I'm not gonna long that, right? Because that means I'm going to long a bearish break, the bearish market structure on the 4 hour. So I really want to wait till I get confirmation, right? And the interesting time frame for this trade right now is definitely the 1 hour. All right, and I'm gonna show you why I have these RLCs marked out on the chart. I'm quickly going to show you my template for the RLC. So this is the template for the RLC. You can I think you can actually pause the live stream if you want to copy my settings. You can also use check out the new video that I made on RLC, how to draw it, how to find it, how to trade it, how to make money using it, basically. So this is the short RLC, and I've got this by drawing from the high up here to the low down here. That brings the RLC in at this area, right? The short RLC. Now this is a long RLC. I'm not really sure about this one. This area is more to just give me a sense of, if I were to scalp this, I would definitely take profits here and have my stop above this area. But this is not a scalp trade. I just want the long RLC down here because I want to see if we start to see, like if we get reacted up here, see the 618, I've talked about the 618 earlier, right? We're getting reacted now by the midpoint of the short RLC. Prices reclaim the 618. I really do like to see the 618 getting broken to the downside to confirm bearish market structure, right? But I'm going to show you a scalp setup on Ethereum BTC after this one, where I've used this same setup, but it's based on the 15 minutes, so I can actually have my stop above here. I'm going to take profit down here. Way riskier, but I do think that's definitely interesting. So as you can see here, we're having a pretty clear bearish market structure on the 4 hour, right? We got lower lows, right? Lower highs. But if you look at on the 1 hour and the lower time frames, you see that you're starting to form bullish market structure, right? Especially with the breakout of this level. That's when you had a pretty clear hint, and you have the retest here, like the beautiful perfect retest here. This is where I want to have my short entry, but you retested this from the other side and bounced, right? So this definitely created a nice hint of a bullish market structure on the 1 hour. So I want this 1 hour market structure to turn bearish before I short. If we get reacted here, this is just, you know, beautiful, right? Because that means you are getting reacted at the short RLC, right? And that's just something that I love to trade, right? I love trading the RLCs, and if you get reacted by the short RLC, that's a good confirmation of lower prices, right? So what I'm looking for right here is honestly not the plan isn't really done yet. So I gotta be honest with you guys, this is something that I've just taken a quick look at before the stream, so I kind of need to make a plan, right? So I'm thinking, and I'm just thinking out loud here, I'm looking at the 1 hour, right? So because I base my I'm hesitant on taking a trade on this because of the 1 hour. The 4 hour is it's just looking like a beautiful bearish retest of the midpoint of the short RLC. But the 1 hour time frame, this is what makes me not want to take the trade. So the first idea that I had, the general idea on this trade was based on the 4 hour. But I'm basing the idea of not taking the trade is based on the 1 hour. So I'm thinking, shouldn't then the entry be based on the 1 hour, right? Kind of makes sense. Like, why would I base the entry on the 4 hour when I'm basing the idea not to take the trade on the 1 hour? That kind of doesn't really make sense, right? You can't base your invalidation on the 1 hour and your entry trigger on the 4 hour. So I'm thinking, I want to see. First of all, I want to see a 1 hour open or close above down here, right? I want this area fail as support. I then want to enter this short because that would confirm the reaction of the short RLC, and that would also confirm a bearish break in market structure in the 1 hour. And if that also means that I mean the 4 hour is going to close in 1 hour 40 minutes, and if this current 4 hour candle closes below here, that would be perfect, because that means you have a 4 hour fake out of this area right here, and that's just a beautiful confirmation of a reaction of the short RLC and a 4 hour fake out of this resistance, right? It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's exactly what you want to see. And if that happens, I mean, you could even have your stop all the way down here for a very good trade. And that's what I mean why you can take profits at the long RLC down here for a good 2.26 R, right? That's more like a scalp trade. That's what I'm watching on Bitcoin. Obviously right now, if you want to short Bitcoin, go ahead, just short it. It's not a terrible idea, honestly. And problem I'm seeing here is it's very likely that we will come up and test range EQ. And if we do test range EQ and you're in a position, this is a very tight stop loss. This stop loss is based on a break in market structure on the 1 hour down here. So if you're going to enter up here, this is a way too tight stop loss. You should probably use this level as your stop loss instead. All right, so that's BTC. Let's I wanted to show you Ethereum BTC, and if you guys have any questions, or and I'm gonna go back to BTC too, obviously later. I'm gonna just shift between whatever chart I'm watching and Bitcoin frequently to get an idea of what's happening, right? Because as soon as we start trading below this support level, I'm definitely interested in entering in short, right? So I'm going to show you an idea I was looking at on Ethereum. And I actually want to start off by looking at a completely naked chart. Let's just remove everything here, right? And I'm gonna start from scratch to show you how I actually find these setups. All right, here we go. So we'll look on the daily here. Where do we have the daily? Let's look at the 4 hour. So I want to find a decent range here, right? Because looking on the daily here, it kind of looks like we're getting rejected, by this support area here. And we're definitely ranging here, just like we were ranging here. And you can see when we broke down this range, we had a massive move to the downside. If we break down here, I'm thinking we are most likely going to test the RLC, right? So let's first just look. Let's just first find the RLC. Right, here we go. This is the RLC. So down here we have the RLC, and I want to remove the background on these. Better. Now let's see if we can find the range. And I'm thinking this is the range that I'm looking at, because we have the high of this impulsive move and the low of this reaction of that high. So we're gonna use that high to this low. We're gonna use the Fibonacci tool. I got a range template right here, like that. So let's just extend this to the right, and as you can see here, we are right now testing the range EQ. So what you want to do now is you want to find confluence. You want to find confluence with the range EQ. I've been trading for 4 years. About 4 years, 3.5, I think. I started trading in well, I don't know, man. Like I invested in 2017, so I bought Bitcoin in 2017. So I can't really call that trading, because I basically bought Bitcoin, it mooned, I went on to BitMEX and bought everything that was green, and that was actually a very good. Well, yeah. So how much did I lose initially? Like, yeah, well, actually, like I invested like $500 in 2017, and with the bull run of Bitcoin in 2017 and the alt season, I made a quite significant amount of money. I actually made a lot of money, and I lost a big portion of that with the crash, because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I mean, mainly it was just holding everything and hoping for the best, right? Because everybody was just screaming hodl, right? Hodl your coins because it will be worth a lot of money in the future. That obviously didn't happen, and I lost a huge chunk of the profits. But I mean, I invested $500, and the money. Like, I grew that $500 to a significant amount of money, and that money, made me able to actually start my trading career and basically make an income of this when I actually started learning to trade. And I decided to learn to trade after all of that happened, right? So after losing all the money in 2017, I kind of realized that it's possible, right? It's if I only had the knowledge that I had today, I would be rich, like have a lot of money, right? And so I kind of there and then decided to really learn everything that I could about trading, because I saw the possibilities with the bull run in 17. So yeah, and now here I am today with it took me, I guess it took me 2 years to get to where I am today, but it took me pretty much 1 year of really intensive studying of TA. So I pretty much isolated myself for 1 whole year, just to read every book that I could find on TA. I watched every YouTube video I could find on TA. Like, I did everything I could just to get more knowledge and find a style that could work with my personality and my life situation. And yeah, it took me about two years before I found something that I liked. And I could definitely say that what I found that worked best for me was definitely, I tried to stick with the simple stuff, the stuff that really made sense to me. And if I didn't understand anything, I just didn't really like using it in my analysis. And yeah, so my advice to you guys is like, take in everything, but only stick to the stuff that you actually understand and the stuff that actually makes sense to you. With that said, I recently started reading a book called The Law of Vibration, which is based on W.D. Gann's theories on trading, and that's just some crazy stuff, man. It's some crazy stuff that's like really out there. So that's gonna be very interesting to try to incorporate in my logical analysis. All right, so let's go back to Ethereum BTC here. All right, so we got this range. All right, so let me see. What I gotta try to remember what the actual idea was here. All right, so let's go down into the 4 hour. Let's see. Yeah, so this is it, right? So I'm gonna find the short RLC of this down move. That move that broke range EQ. Now you might want to look like, you might want to draw the RLC using this high to this low, But in this case, I like to find the high of the move that broke the range EQ. So this isn't really, you could kind of view this price action as ranging or slow bleed, right? But this right here is really the move that broke range EQ. This is the impulsive break move, right? So you want to find the short RLC of this move, right? You use the high to the low, and what you see here is you have the 618 in perfect confluence with the and I mean, if you want, you can also use this high right here, and that's going to bring your midpoint of the RLC right here. But I do like using this high here, and that's going to bring your short RLC and the 618 confluent with the range EQ. So that's some nice confluent with the range EQ. And you also want to find the long RLC of this move, depending on where it gets reacted. Let's say that it gets reacted right here. So I like the confluent with this bounce right here with the 618. Right. So this is obviously bullish market structure on the 15 minutes, right? Now I'm looking for a short, because remember, we are retesting range EQ, so I'm looking for a short, but I want to have confirmed bearish market structure on the 15 minute before I actually short this. Let's see, where do we have, what level needs to get taken out to form a bearish market structure on the 15 minutes? So I'm watching this level. So I would like to short the breakdown of this area, right? Because that's gonna confirm a bearish market structure on the 15 minute, and I would like to think that that's the reaction of range EQ. Now it's very likely that we will see a move up into the RLC and kind of get reacted there, and if that happens, the setup would look different. But if we break down here, this is what I'm looking for, right? Something like that. So I'm gonna keep my eyes on this. Actually, you know what? You could probably use, yeah, I think this is the way to go. And you can also use this high right here as your invalidation level, like that. But I like to use that one. You know what? I'm just gonna take a closer look at this range right here, but because I saw a chart that I've posted on Twitter actually, and I think I got the range all wrong here. And on the daily, it kind of makes sense. But if you look at the 4 hour here, this isn't really the bounce I want to use at range as range low, right? This is the bounce right here. Let me explain why, right? I'm not really viewing this as a proper bounce. I'm really viewing this as the bounce. This was just a, I don't know what, it's a weird wick that I'm not really confident in using as range low. So let's adjust the range here, And if we do that, I'm pretty sure that the range EQ will be confluent with the midpoint of the RLC, and that's really what you want to see, right? So when drawing ranges, it needs to make sense, and the more range EQ gets tested, the higher the probability that it's the correct range, right? Let's see what happens if we use that level. Yeah, what do you know, like that's perfect. We go down into the hourly, the 50-minute. Now notice how the range EQ is in perfect confluent with the midpoint of this RLC right here. And yeah, so I like that. I really do like this. I'm looking for a reaction now of range EQ, and we might be able to adjust this level and place it up here depending on how price action looks going forward. Now, this could also be a pretty clear breakdown level, and in case that happens, you might get a move like this, right? Yeah, something to watch, right? Let's put in an alert here. Right, so let's see, what else do we want to take a look at? What's happening with Bitcoin? Also, I've really only covered the bearish scenario for Bitcoin, so let's take a look at the bullish scenario. So what needs to happen for me to become bullish on Bitcoin? Well, it should be quite obvious, right? I want to see a reclaim of range EQ. Let's add the moving averages too. Right, so we're right now testing the 55 EMA on a daily, and you know what? Let's mark that out because I want to see how well it's 91.64. So I want to see how well the daily 55 EMA lines up with the idea on the lower time frames, right? And yeah, what do you know? That's just beautiful. So the 55 EMA is inside the short RLC, and price is right now trying to get above it. So if we actually reclaim the 55 EMA in a daily, I would be a little bit more bullish, and I would be a little bit more cautious with the shorts, and that's why you want to, you want to have confirmation of a downtrend before you actually short. So get reacted by the 55 EMA in a daily, that would be great, right? And yeah, that's what I'm looking at to short this. If we reclaim the 55 EMA daily, yeah, I wouldn't be as interested in shorting this, honestly. Alright, so what else do we want to look at? We want to take a look at BAT BTC. So we're getting a bounce here now, but I do expect if we get another strong move from Bitcoin, like a dump down to range low, I do expect a move down into the long RLC of this move right here, just like we did bounce off the RLC right here. So that's what I'm looking for on BAT, really. This one did not work out very great with the dump from Bitcoin. We're now back in bearish territory for BAT BTC, but as soon as we break above this area, I would very much be interested in a new long on BAT BTC. Alright, so if you guys have any questions or any charting questions, feel free to ask me in the chat and I'll take a look at them. So I wanted to take a look at I'm just going to quickly go through this list to kind of see if I can see anything interesting. Just get a general feel of the altcoin market. Troy. We hit the TP1 here, but we're now back at entry. It's still looking good. I mean, As long as we don't create a lower low here, that's all right, honestly. BTC dominance, yeah, of course. Yeah, I almost forgot that one. I should definitely take a look at BTC dominance. All right, so looking on daily here, we have this red box resistance right here. We are obviously getting rejected by this red box resistance, so that's what I mean by what, you know, I've talked about in the Nest Club and in the beginning of the video. Alts are still, in my opinion, risk on, but it's definitely in the danger zone, and let me show you why. The fact that the BTC dominance is getting rejected by resistance up here means that altcoins are still risk on, but we're very close to creating bullish market structure on the daily. The thing is, we broke down the 4-hour bullish market structure right here. We're now coming down for a retest of the breakout area here. If we bounce here and reclaim that area, it's going to be very, very ugly for alts. If that happens, you should probably exit all alts that are not in a, you know, long-term trade position. If, however, we break this area and then break this area, it's going to be a crazy run for all coins, I'm sure. That's what I'm viewing on Bitcoin, and that's why I think, I mean, if BTC, if bad BTC comes down and tests the long RLC, and BTC dominance goes up like this, that's going to be just very, very nice. That's going to be the perfect storm for all coins, basically. All right, so let's see, what else do we have? Green list, we got ADX, nothing here. This one is just goddamn crazy. The one had a very nice bounce here, just like we were looking for. But I mean, it's this level above that needs to. Let's remove this setup. I don't know why it's even on the chart. So this is the level that needs to get reclaimed. So 53 sats, right? Nulls BTC is seeing a very nice bounce off this previous resistance, now turned into support. So this is what I mean, guys. Like, still, alts are some of the alts are looking very good, and that's because the altcoin dominance hasn't really broken out yet, right? So it's still altcoins are still risk on, but because of the fact that the BTC dominance is still kind of indecisive, you will not see a lot of alts run, but you will see quite a few make some bullish moves, right? Let's see. So obviously the general feel for the altcoin market here is the fact that it's you know, most of the altcoins are looking quite bearish, right? But you will always get some that are moving quite nicely, right? Yes, I would definitely be careful with altcoins. I'm gonna do my usual Forex Market scan to kind of plan next week's trade, and I'm also going to show you a setup on USD CAD. I'm going to start with, just like I did on Ethereum BTC, I'm going to start with a naked chart just to show you guys how I find the setup and why I enter it, and you know, everything. All right, where do we have what chart should we use? We should use the I think it's this. All right, so we're gonna take a look at USD CAD first, right? And this is such a nice trade. This is a good example of how to use the RLC properly, right? And a good example of no, actually, like I do not look at volume that often. I do look at volume when trading altcoins sometimes, but like, honestly, I've noticed that even when using volume in my analysis, it's price action is really all I need. Where I see volume, well, I use the volume indicator on TradingView, but honestly, like, I don't use volume much. Like, price action, like, honestly, like, I started, when I started trading, I used only price action and horizontal levels. Like, all I did was long the first retest after breakout, and that landed me with about 50 to 55% win rate by only using a very, very, very simple strategy. And honestly, like, I don't use volume. I know some people might call me a retard for not using the volume in my analysis, but it just seems to work really good without it. Obviously, sometimes when looking at all coins, it is interesting to see if you have a nice up move and a reclaim of support, but there's no volume, and volume is really lacking, and volume is actually decreasing. That's not really going to be very interesting. So sometimes I do use volume, especially when looking at swing trades on altcoins. When, for example, when an altcoin is exiting a months-long accumulation area, I do really like to see a strong increase in volume when you actually have the move out of the accumulation area, like, or the consolidation area, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, volume is something I use for bigger position swing trades in altcoins, just to really get a feel for the inflow of volume when you're breaking out of a cycle low area. Otherwise, I'm not really interested in volume, honestly. All right, so let's take a look at the USD CAD here. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to find the long RLC of this whole up move. Let's take a look at the daily right here. Let's remove this trend line. So by using the low down here to the high up here, you get the long RLC here, and the long RLC is the area between the 786 and the 618 Fibonacci level. And you wait for price to come down into the long RLC, and what you want to find, like, this is how I trade Forex, right? So what you want to do is you want to look for, first of all, the RSI. You want the RSI to be oversold. And as you can see here, the blue line here is the RSI, the white line is the MACD, the blue one is the RSI, and when the blue line is below 30, this white horizontal, it means it's oversold, right? So it's in the long RLC and it's oversold. So that's a check, right? That's our first thing we want to see. And you then want to see price, or you want the RSI to, like, the RSI can stay oversold and overbought for a very, very long time. So you don't want to buy when the RSI is, just because the RSI is oversold, you don't want to buy. So what you want to do is you want to wait for the RSI to enter overbought or oversold territory, and you then want to wait for it to get out of that territory. So for example here, the RSI is below 30, which means it's oversold. And when the RSI moves from below 30 to above 30, that's when it starts getting interesting, right? Because that means it's moving out of the oversold area, right? And that happens right here, right? Right here. And you can kind of see how that's significant, right? So we get this big pump, and also another thing you want to find is bullish divergences, or bearish if you're shorting, but this is longing. So I'm only going to talk about what you want to see when longing. Obviously, when looking for a short, everything is just reversed, right? So when looking for a long inside the long RLC, you want to find bullish divergences, right? And I'm looking on the 4 hour for bullish divergences, right? And what do you have here? Well, you have a low, basically started here, right? So you have a low and a lower low on price, and you got a low and a high low on the RSI and the MACD. So that's double divergence, bullish divergence on the MACD and RSI. And what happens after you get that? You get a very nice move upwards, right? So that's definitely going to confirm the long RLC as a valid reversal area. So now it's really, really what you want to do now is you want to look for bullish break in market structure. And this is just a textbook example of how you want a bullish market structure inside the RLC to look. You're getting a double bottom right here, and you're seeing a W formation right here, and you're using the midpoint of the RLC as the neckline and or resistance of the W double bottom formation, right? You get a breakout, right? And this is like the golden nugget right here. If you take the fib tool again and you draw your long RLC, and I'm gonna ignore this wick because I don't like that wick. I want, and if, I mean, looking at 1 hour, I just don't. I want to use this low because I really do think that's the low that's important. That's the low before this up move. This wick is just, it happens afterwards, so I want to use that low. Makes more sense to use that low to I mean, yeah, you could use this or this. I'm not sure which one you should use, to be honest, but I think it's more, I think it makes sense to, let's look at the daily. How's the daily looking? Yes, looking at it on the daily, you should definitely use this wick. So by using that wick, you can clearly see that the 618 and the midpoint, this is, your crazy confluence right here. So the 702 fib is confluent with the 702 of this move, right? So this whole big RLC has the exact same midpoint as this breakout level, this breakout right here of the W. So that's just crazy good confluence. And now what happens right here? Well, you put your entry on the 618, right? So you want your entry to be on the 618 because the 618 is confluent with the, support right here. And what do you get? Well, you get a perfect touch of the 618. You get a perfect touch of the breakout level. You get it right here, so you could have entered right here. But this is just beautiful. This is beautiful, right? And your target, well, your target is going to be the breakdown area. And that's this red box resistance right here. I'm viewing this white dotted line right here, the last, this high right here. And I'm going to put my take profit target a little bit lower in case it gets front ran, right? And that's the setup that I'm in. Another way to play this would be, this is a bit different, but it's pretty much the same strategy or same idea, right? What you want to do here is you wait for price to actually get out of the RLC and you long the retest of the 618. That's also something you could do. And you're looking on the 1 hour, you see that it's this is a bit more, this is a bit tricky though, because the invalidation level isn't really super clear here, but you will probably use the low of this breakout candle right here. So let's take a look here. Yeah, we'll take a look at that one. All right, so you long the retest of the 618 here, stop loss below the breakout candle, take profit up here, and that's going to be like a crazy good R on that one. So this is more, just, yeah, very nice, very nice, very nice. All right, so that's USD CAD. Let's take a look at USD ruble, or is it ruble? Do we have it on? We don't have it on Oanda. I haven't charted this one. Let's see. Let's start with the weekly. Right, so it kind of seems like we're testing the 50%, right? Let's see. Well, actually, we're testing the 618 right now. So we're testing the long RLC. You know what? I had to change my settings on this one. I like to be like this. Let's make a new one. Alright, so let's add the moving averages here. The weekly 5 EMA is complement with the midpoint of the RLC. This one is right above. So we're losing the 21 EMA on the weekly. I don't like that. And I don't like the fact that the 21 EMA on the weekly is so close to the 618. And what is this? This is the 9. Yes, the 9 EMA is right above here. This is not looking very bullish on the longer time the higher time frames. Let's look at the daily. All right, so we got a possible break in market structure here. A possible break in market structure. This is really reminding me of the USD CAD setup. Yeah, so you're bouncing inside the high time frame RLC. You're reclaiming the 618 of the high time frame RLC. And you're bouncing inside, bouncing off the lower time frame RLC confluent with the, you know, it's the RLC within the RLC, right? And you're seeing a possible break in market structure, a possible bullish break in market structure, because you got your first higher low. You're still creating lower highs. Look at the 4 hour. Where's the breakdown area? Did that one. Yeah, let's just use that level for now. That's going to be our possible take profit area. Also, we need to mark out this level. We need to see how that actually looks on the 4 hour. I like this level way more. Alright, so how would you trade this? Well, this is a bit tricky because you are still in a daily downtrend, and really what you want to see is you want this level right here to get confirmed. Also look at this, right? RLC was oversold here, and we moved from below 30 to above 30 right before this right here, so it's very similar. Are we getting any bullish divergences on the RSI? Well, we did get some obvious ones right here, just like we got another one. And honestly, the risk to reward on this one isn't really great, because I do want to see this level get reclaimed first. I mean, you could of course long the 618. I mean, this wouldn't be a terrible trade, but it's just way riskier because there's no high time frame confirmation of this trade. But this could be one idea, and I mean, up here is, that's one idea, along the retest of the 618. Other one is this, right? So you long the reclaim of that level for a move up here, and stop loss would probably be in this area. This is scenario 1, and this is the other one, right? So you see price come up and retest that area, reclaim that area for move higher. This is definitely the less risky option. And what I would wait for in that case, let's see, is a daily close above 70,202. But I mean, if that happens, this might move quite quickly, so you might want to enter like 25% or 50% of your desired position on the actual breakout, and wait for the retest to fill the rest of your position. Alright, so that's what I'm looking on this one, and honestly, I like it. It's looking quite good actually. I'm getting tired, so I have to actually, you know, get through with this this market scan. And guys, I really do appreciate all of you being here. It's so nice having you guys here to you know, ask me questions and just, you know, be here with me. So EURUSD, I feel like an idiot really on this one, because like this trade was just very nice. But I've actually exited this short, and it was an extremely stupid idea, and I'm gonna show you guys why. And like on this YouTube channel, you will see that I want to provide you guys with the reality of trading. I'm not gonna show you guys like 100% win rate or any bullshit like that. I'm gonna show you guys the reality of trading. And the reality of trading is that you are going to lose money, and you're gonna enter losing streaks, and you're gonna lose trades, and it's gonna be a fucking pain in the ass sometimes to actually trade. It's not all about Lamborghinis and riches, right? It's about hard work and dedication. It's being a trader it's not easy, right? It never becomes easy, right? Never. It just becomes, I don't know, man. It's just when I finally realized that I've had a working strategy and I started to become profitable, I realized that it's just the same. You just have a working strategy, and you have like, you become more logical and you become more systematic in your approach to trading, and you have a system, and you have like you're better at time management and all that. But it's just it's the same, right? It's just the same as in the beginning. You just have more knowledge, but it's all a mental game, really. It's all about like, you still have to fight the FOMO, you still have to fight the urges to exit and enter, and the greed and the fear and everything like that. It's just it's the same, so it's never going to become easy, never. With that said, it might become a little bit easy, but it's don't fall for all the bullshit scams you see on the internet, where people will promise you, you know, 100% returns or crazy high win rate. It's just, if you see someone offering you a higher win rate than, you know, 70 or 80, that's just incredible, right? And if somebody, like, remember guys, like the biggest forex traders, like the Wall Street guys, right? They make 20% a year. 20% a year. So if you're going, you're gonna, like, if you go onto Instagram and you if you go into Instagram and you see people post, you know, this, fuck man, like, stocks have been rallying, sure they have, and people have been making money, and I see people posting shit where their account is up like 500 or 600%, and they're supposed to be professional traders. Don't fall for that shit, because if they like triple their account on a couple of trades, that means they're gonna risk a incredible amount of money to actually make that kind of money. Because like, if you look at stocks, there's no way you can triple your account in a couple of trades without risking your whole account. It's just, if it's true, and it's probably not, because you can fake all of those P&Ls, screenshots and all that. If you make that kind of money on a couple of trades, and if you double your account on a couple of trades, it means that you're risking way too much, and you do not know shit about risk management, and you're never going to be profitable in the long run doing that shit. It's not how trading works. Trading is not a get rich quick scheme. Trading is a job like any job, right? But trading has unlimited possibilities. If you're working 9 to 5 and you have a good pay, trading is going to be exactly that, but you can, every year you can increase your pay by a couple, like 20%, right? So it's going to be like, the possibilities are endless, but you're not going to get rich overnight. It's just, forget it. Trading is hard work. Hard work. Alright, so Sean J says new libs coin 9 whatever x leverage act today. It's actually it got, this message is held for review. I like that. For some reason the chat decided that that's a scam. So my YouTube algorithm is actually trying to protect you guys. So I'm gonna show, I'm just gonna press show because you know, let's do it. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like, if you lose money, like, that's just part of the game. Be prepared to lose money. Like, everybody loses money, and in the beginning, most people have lost all the money. Like, I've lost my trading portfolio 3 times, or yeah, 3 times. Like fucking idiot. So like, I've lost all of my money once, and I came back and I lost it again, and I've lost it for the same reason. And I the third time I can, you know, I told myself that I'll make 100 trades, right? And I'll make 100 trades. I'll make every trade, not perfect, but I'm gonna journal every trade, and I'm going to review every one of those 100 trades before and after. I'm gonna make a plan and everything. And if I repeat the same mistake, I'm just gonna leave trading for good. Because if I, like, making the same mistake twice is just a super bad, but making the same mistake a third time is just, that's a new routine, if you want to call it, right? So I made a promise to take 100 trades and do it the right way. And if I started getting greedy and risking too much and losing it all on stupid leverage trades, I'm just gonna leave trading for good and focus on something else. Because if that would have happened, it means that trading is not for me, right? And it didn't happen, and that, you know, that promise to myself was really what I needed to do to really get my head back in the game and kind of create a mental framework that you need as a trader. You really need to distance yourself from your emotions, and when you feel like you start trading your emotions, just get the fuck out of there, right? Just turn off the computer, turn off your phone, go out for a run, go to the gym, do whatever you like doing that has nothing to do with trading, and do not look at the charts for a couple of days. Because when emotion gets involved, when you start getting stressed or depressed or euphoric or whatever, just get out of there, man. Like, that's the end. That's when you will fuck up. You need to be systematic, you need to be logical, you need to be true to yourself. You need to tell yourself that you're a human being. You have psychological aspects as a human being that you have no control over, and they are the #1 reason why traders lose money. If you cannot control your psychological, your mental game, you're going to fuck up as a trader. You don't have to, it doesn't have to happen tomorrow. It can happen in 5 years, but I mean, it's, yeah. All right, my rule is to reduce risk after 3 losing trades in a row. Yeah, yeah, so that's a very good idea, right? So when you feel like, first of all, you need to have a trading system, you need to have a trading strategy, and you need to have trading rules, right? And every trading strategy and every trading system has a drawdown period. It has a losing period, right? You need to get familiar, and this is really where the consistency comes in. Because if you let's say you buy a trading system, right? You buy a trading system with very clear instruction, like do this and do this and do this, right? And you do it for 10 trades, and the next 5 trades is going to be losers, right? So you get 10 winning trades but 5 losers, and you're saying like, well, this is shit, right? So you're gonna buy a new trading system. And when that trading system enters a losing period, you're going to buy a new one, right? And the important thing is you need to stay consistent with a trading system, and you need to understand that every trading system has its own drawdowns. And when you understand your drawdowns, like when you understand how that drawdown looks, you can start reducing risk when it happens to really reduce the impact of the drawdown of the system. So for example, I know that my system that I'm using usually do not have more than 10 losing trades in a row, and that's quite a lot of trades. And in the beginning, when I had 10 losing trades in a row, I really started questioning me as a trader, right? Because when you're losing 10 trades in a row, that's just detrimental to your confidence, right? But I know today that it's possible, and it happens like a couple of times every year. I get 10 losing trades in a row, right? And not a couple of times a year. It's usually more like once a year. It's more like 4 to 6 losing trades in a row. But it's possible to have 10 losing trades in a row. And what you need to do when that happens is after like Heidkin, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I know he's a member of the Bird Nest, or was. I really did enjoy his Heikin Ashin charts though. When that happens, when you start to have like 3 or 4 losing trades, you lower your risk, right? So you lower your risk and you lower it with every trade until you see that you start winning like 2 or 3 trades in a row. That means you're entering your drawdown period, and in the beginning of that drawdown period, you start reducing risk, so the overall amount of money you loses in the drawdown period will be kept to a minimum. When all right, so yeah, got it. Yeah, yes. Does this apply in all season? I'm not sure what applies in all season. Do you mean just to be clear that there's not going to be an all season, right? There's never going to be an all season again. Like, do not fall for that shit. Like, of course, I don't know. I don't know if there's gonna be an alt season, but really, guys, you gotta be real to yourself. Like, look at the fucking chart, right? Look at the BTC dominance. I mean the BTC USDT chart. And I know I'm a bear, and but I'm just trying to be logical here and realistic. Look at this. Are we going to see? Let's take a look at Bitstamp. Are we going to see a parabolic move from Bitcoin like we saw in 2017? Probably not, right? Probably not. This feels very, very unlikely. And like the alt season that we had in 2017, we're probably not going to see an alt season like that. I mean, the alt season in 17 basically meant that you log on to Bittrex, and this was my trading strategy. This was how I made my money. This was how I made my initial trading capital that I'm using today. I logged on to BitMEX, right? And I bought every coin that was flashing green. I had no idea what I was doing, but I bought everything that was green, and I made a huge amount of money. I remember barely sleeping for months. I woke up in the middle of the night, checked my blockfolio, refreshing my blockfolio, and all I saw was a crazy amount of increase in money. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, right? I'm gonna become a millionaire. I 100% thought that I was becoming a millionaire overnight, because everything that I bought was going up, and some coins were going up thousands percent, right? Overnight. It's just insane the amount of profit you did. Like, it was unbelievable. Too good to be true, right? So is that going to happen again? Probably not. But what's going to happen? I'm going to show you the BTC dominance. What's probably going to happen is that you will continue to have these altcoin windows, right? And an altcoin window is when the BTC dominance is dropping. Because when the BTC dominance is dropping, that means that money is flowing out of Bitcoin into altcoins. And Yeah. So an altcoin window is this, right? This is an altcoin window. This was some very, very nice moves through alts, right? And we have, you know, another altcoin window right here and here. So instead of talking about altcoin season, we're going to talk about altcoin windows, and we can talk about prolonged altcoin windows. This is an altcoin window. This is an altcoin window, and right here you have, inside here you have a what I would like to call a prolonged altcoin window, and that's a mini alt season, right? That's what I think will happen. That's what I think will happen, right? We're not going to see an alt season, so forget about that. Just you do not sit around and wait for an altcoin season. Instead of waiting around for an altcoin season, you should trade what's in front of you, and do not wait for movement. Just trade what is in front of you, and do not wait for that magical, mystical altcoin season that we have been talking about for 3 years. 3 years. Not gonna happen, guys. You don't want to be the guy just sitting here 5 years later, just, well, maybe tomorrow we will have the altcoin season. Well, yeah, sure. Well, yes, shorts are definitely cyclical. Definitely, and they are, and that's what I mean. That's what I mean. That this is just this is exactly what I mean, right? But I feel like the altcoin season in 2017, that was the thing. Like the pump to 20k and the altcoin season afterwards was really the thing that put crypto on the map. That was really like, look at this. This bull run is probably one of the most legendary. Well, it is the most legendary and epic bull run in history of trading any assets, right? This was what put BTC and crypto trading on the map. That was the move that kind of sparked the revolution, or, you know, the interest of trading crypto. And we're probably not going to see that again, but we're going to see miniature altcoin seasons, right? So I would like to think that this is where the chart should start, right? This area. So yeah, that's my thought on this one. All right. So what are we? I totally forgot what we were doing. All right. So where are we gonna take a look at BTC again? Getting rejected by the 55 EMA on daily. What's happening here? Well, it's honestly kind of looks like it wants to break out here, and if it does, I'm not interested in shorting this level. I'm gonna look at short the higher up, but it's just, it's Sunday too, so I'm not gonna rush into any trades. I'd really, is it? Yeah, it is. 15 minutes ago. And nothing's really happening. 40 minutes left to the 4-hour close. I mean, it's just very boring area right here. And, you know, it's Sunday, so like I said, no rush. I want to enter, preferably, like, the best time to enter a trade on Bitcoin is like Tuesday, because on Monday you will see, if the weekend price action has any follow through, and on Tuesday you will see like a usually clear direction. So the possible, like, the most perfect entry would be you know, Monday, Tuesday, enter on Tuesday, sell on Friday. That's just the perfect trade, right? Enter on Tuesday and sell on Friday. I might quote that. Right, so Euro USD. I'm gonna show you this too. We were overbought on RSI inside the short LC. Well, not really inside the short LC, but when we crossed from above 70 to below 70, we were inside the short LC, right? And we started to see a break in market structure here. And I remember also looking at this head and shoulders right here, something like this. And we had the breakdown right here. If you're in the Burbness, you probably remember this shot, right? So we had the breakdown right here, came up for a rounded retest right here, and yeah, that was really my entry. And I've also had another entry right here where I had my stop loss for bigger position. I had my stop loss above this area where I moved down here. The problem here was the fact that when we saw this area here get reclaimed with the 4-hour open and close, I've actually exited this position. But I had my stop loss all the way up here, so that kind of sucks, right? But because we came up for bearish retest of the weekly 200 SMA and continued down, and we are now retesting the midpoint of the RLC for a possible bearish retest on the way down. So I've definitely got shaken out on this one, and that shit happens. And I don't think it was a very bad decision to exit, because we could just, you know, run higher. So what I did was I basically exited at break even, so I didn't lose anything on this. But I, you know, that's the greed coming into play, really. All right, so what else do we look at? GBP USD. This was also a all right, dude. See you later, and thanks for joining, and thanks for staying for, I mean, 1.5 hours. That's pretty crazy. I'm actually gonna end the stream shortly, because it's been 1.5 hours, and really I'm getting tired. I'm like sitting here is talking. It's yeah. And my son has been keeping me up all night. I've been sleeping like 3 hours tonight, which does not really help. And here too, you can have see a head and shoulders pattern. You have the breakdown, the retest, complement with the 618. Perfect, right? Beautiful. Profit taking was down here, right? Let's see, where is the next trade on this one? I'm not really sure, honestly. I'm just gonna wait for price action to develop here. Let's go through this one quickly. What do we have here? Well, this is a nice level, but not really interested right now. I'm actually still in this one. I've exited, I've sold some here, but I'm still in this one with, I think, 25 or 50% of my position. And here was a short I was looking at on EuroCab, but it kind of looks like we should be looking for a long actually on this one. But I do really like the see if we can find a trend line here. Not interested. All right, so it kind of looks like we. Nah, I'm still interested in this short, to be honest. This one turned out pretty well. I bought the breakout here, tried to buy the retest here. Didn't work out that well, but the breakout was definitely the better trade here. And we did get, this is the level I'm looking at on this one. Yeah, you too. Have a nice day. What happened here? This must have been, well, yeah, this. Yeah, I'm not sure what this is really. You know what, guys? I feel like I'm just... yeah, this one was just very nice. And I'm not in this one. I've got filled on my TP right here. Because of the spread, right? Still BTC. Let's take a look. Is that still BTC or still USDT? Well, this is probably just a bearish retest. I don't know. Got this level right here. This is probably just a bearish retest, honestly. Gold is looking strong. I was very close to getting stopped out on this one. Silver, I'm still looking for this level to break this diagonal. I do like this horizontal right here, and I don't know, I really gotta... I'm not gonna buy this blindly, I'm just gonna wait for the breakout and see how price actually looks when we get the retest. Let's take a quick look at the Bitcoin again. It's still at the same area. All right, so I think I'm done for today actually, and I just want to thank you, say thank you to everyone who joined tonight. Really do appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna do a market update tomorrow. So I'm actually gonna do my complete market scan tomorrow instead. I think because it's just getting too late, and I'm not really seeing anything obvious in the Forex market today. I think I'm happy with the positions I have, and I'm not really gonna rush into a trade. I do like this one though. I really do like that one. Alright, so keep an eye on Twitter for updates on my positions and everything like that. And yeah, take care, guys, and see you guys next time. If you want me to chart anything for you in my market updates or anything like that, if you're in the Burbness, you tag me in the Nest Club, or if you're following my Twitter, you can just send me a DM or send me a message on Twitter and ask me to cover anything, and I will I will take a look at them. So and if you guys like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. I will it's the channel is new, but I'm really trying to release one video a day with a market update, and I want one of the market updates every week will be a long one. If I'm not doing a live stream, I will do a complete market scan for like 40 or 50 minutes, and the other ones, Monday to Friday, will be short ones between 10 and 20 minutes, where I cover only the important ones, the coins that I'm looking at to enter, only setup that are close to being activated. So hopefully that's interesting. Let's see let's see what happens in the future. I think it's gonna be pretty good. All right, so thanks for joining, and see you guys next time. Take care, guys.